Time for the final game of this series between NC State and Virginia Tech at Tech Softball Park. I'm Riley Klaus, joined by Taylor Brettel. We are just minutes away from first pitch in Blacksburg, Virginia, where the Hokies have controlled the series so far, 2 games to none. Thank you for listening to the Virginia Tech Sports Network. Today's game also simulcast on ACC Network Extra. But Taylor, Virginia Tech has been on fire over these first few games as they have taken the first 2 games of the series, but now they have the task of trying to finish strong and close it out.
Yeah, it's been strong on both sides, outscoring Wolfpack through 11 innings of play for the first 2 contests, 21-3. It's a high task to follow that up, both with the bats and in the circle, but the Hokies are ready and the fans are ready as well, as you can probably hear them surrounding us right now in another sold-out crowd at Tech Softball Park. A big task for the Hokies. Leading a sweep is not an easy task, but Pete DeMore and crew look to do that here today.
That they do, and in the circle today for Virginia Tech, it's Emma Mazzarone, whose last appearance was against the NC State Wolfpack. In game 1, in that contest, she would throw 5 innings without allowing a run in the game, with 8 strikeouts in an impressive 10-0 win for Virginia Tech, like you alluded to, Taylor, after just 5 innings, and she's ready to go today for another day after that impressive performance.
Yeah, impressive is just the perfect way to put it. Again, the biggest thing out of that performance, limiting the walks. Just 1 walk, which came in that 5th inning, where Mazzarone was able to close it out for the 10-0 win in game 1. And she brings fire with that release, pitching it right around 72 miles an hour. That's where she maxes out, and you saw a lot of the Wolfpack. They were late on a lot of those heaters out of the arm of Mazzarone. She looks to do the same here today.
Meanwhile, on the other end for NC State, it's Maya Townsend, Carly Short, and Kendall Simmers who will get the game started with the bats for the Wolfpack. Almost ready for game 3 of the series, the first home series Virginia Tech has had all season long. Took them almost 30 games before they would make it to Tech Softball Park, but they stand at 27-4 ahead of this contest. So Townsend steps into the left-handed batter's box, and the first pitch goes in outside for ball number 1. Townsend yesterday in the game for NC State, they would score 3 runs in that first inning. Those are all the runs they've scored in this series, but she started off with a double. Would love to see that replicated today. Next pitch away from Mazzarone makes it ball 2. 2-0 lead for Maya Townsend, batting first for the Wolfpack in this game. She's the center fielder for NC State, sporting their all-red uniforms in this contest. Mazzarone unwinds, up and away for ball 3. 3-0 lead for Townsend to begin this game in the top of the first. Mazzarone takes a deep breath, fires in the pitch, gets the strike to keep this duel alive. 3-1 the count for Maya Townsend. Went 1 for 3 in yesterday's game against the Wolfpack. The 3-1 offering is sent away, and that's a walk for Maya Townsend. Gets the base running started for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, an ideal start for NC State, similar to yesterday. First batter there, and Townsend reaches base. Yesterday it was a double, today via drawing a walk, and put yourself in a very good position.
So runner on first, top of the first inning. Emma Mazzarone in the circle for Virginia Tech. Carly Short up to the plate for NC State. First pitch to her, taken for a strike down Broadway. And Virginia Tech has done a great job of limiting Carly Short, a very talented player for NC State. In her freshman year, up to this series, had gotten on base in every single game this season, but wasn't able to in game 1 of this series. She'll pop it up foul down the right side, and it will head out of play. So count goes to 0-2. Yesterday, Short was able to get on board with a hit by pitch, but still looking for a first hit this series.
Yeah, you mentioned Short, a dangerous bat, but a little bit quiet this series, has a great opportunity here.
Mazzarone with an 0-2 lead in the count, steps on the rubber and unleashes the softball. Away for ball number 1. 1-2 count. Runner on first for NC State, it's Maya Townsend. Top of the first, no score yet in this contest. 1-2 pitch, too short, clips inside, and for ball number 2. To make it 2-2 as the count. Nobody gone yet, top of the first. Mazzarone steps in, sends it through. On the ground, right back to Mazzarone. She'll underhand toss to Chatfield at first for the first out in the first inning. That moves Townsend to second for NC State.
Yeah, you'll take it out any way you can. Did have that 0-2 advantage, but you're happy that you don't have another walk against you. Nice play there.
So runner in scoring position for the Wolfpack. It's Maya Townsend. One gone, top of the first, no score yet at Tech Softball Park. Sends up Kendall Simmers, who had a hit in the first inning yesterday. Pitch goes wild beyond Yeager, and it allows for Townsend to run to third. Keeps Simmers up at the plate. The Wolfpack getting close to striking first in this contest.
And if you're Simmers here, anything in play, Townsend maybe headed home.
Pitch sent her direction, sees it down low for ball number 2. 2-0 lead in the count for Kendall Simmers, the second baseman of NC State, with her teammate Maya Townsend hailing at third base at the moment. No score yet in the game, top of the first, 1 away. Mazzarone sends it in, pops up high on the infield. Annika Rose, the shortstop underneath it, makes the catch for the second out in the top of the first.
Nice play there, able to track that one down. This sun is beaming. That's a harder play to make than Rose made it look.
I know we'll be looking to apply some more sunscreen throughout this game. It is certainly a great day at Tech Softball Park. With 2 away in the top of the first, it brings up Lily Livingston for the NC State Wolfpack. First pitch to her is down the middle for a strike from Emma Mazzarone to set the count at 0-1 with 2 away. Mazzarone, a multiple-time All-ACC player for Virginia Tech. She's in her junior year with the Hokies. 0-1, sends it inside in the outside corner. Will find it on that clip and get the strike. 0-2.
Nice way for Mazzarone to get an 0-2 advantage here. Didn't see that in that early at-bat to Townsend, but starting to dial in.
Finds the edge of the zone to give that 0-2 advantage. 2 away, fouled directly backwards by Lily Livingston. Keeps her alive in the count with Maya Townsend at third base for NC State. Yesterday, the Wolfpack struck 3 times in the opening inning, or held scoreless after. Mazzarone trying to shut the door on this opening frame. 0-2 sent the direction of Livingston, just inside for ball number 1. And check swing, she did not go for Livingston. So 1-2 count for the NC State third baseman. Mazzarone toes the rubber, puts her hand in the softball, and will fire it in. The 1-2 pitch is fouled backwards, and it will stay a duel between Livingston and Mazzarone. Yesterday, Livingston brought home 2 runs with a single in that first inning for NC State. They would score 3 in the opening frame. 1-2, the count for Livingston in the box. Sent in by Mazzarone, and she did go around. That will be a strikeout for Emma Mazzarone. Keeps NC State scoreless after the top of the first. We'll step aside, and after this, be right back on the Virginia Tech Sports Network. The Hokies bats are up for the first time today as we get set for the bottom of the first inning at Tech Softball Park. Game 3 of the series between Virginia Tech and NC State. The Hokies have controlled the first 2 contests of this series. NC State was able to get a runner on third in the top half of the first, but then were held scoreless as Emma Mazzarone ended it with a strikeout for the Hokies in the circle. In the circle for NC State, it's Riley Wyman today. And she'll take on Addison Foster, Jordan Lynch, and Michelle Chatfield to start things off for Virginia Tech. Begins with Addison Foster, who has really found herself a role as the leadoff hitter for Virginia Tech this season. The transfer from Stetson has been a big impact for the Hokies. 3 for 6 in this series so far. First pitch to her from Wyman finds the outside edge of the zone for strike 1. 0-1 count for Addison Foster, center fielder for Virginia Tech. Deep breath from Wyman. She'll toe the rubber. Set and offer the 0-1. It goes away for ball number 1. 1-1 count. Bottom of the first inning. No score yet at Tech Softball Park. Foster sends it up high off her bat into left field. Coming in to make the catch, it's Massey from NC State to put 1 away in the bottom of the first.
The exact kind of start you want if you're Wyman. You talk about this, Riley. Yesterday, Foster also had a very strong game for the Hokies. Actually led off herself with a double in response to what Townsend had at the top of the first, but a quick out there for the Wolfpack.
So Jordan Lynch goes up to the plate for Virginia Tech. Leads the team in batting average this season at .461, and she'll send it into right. It drops in front of Johnson, and it's a base knock for Jordan Lynch to start her day.
Jordan Lynch, just such a pure hitter and likes to attack the count early, as you saw right there. Batting, as you said, a team lead, .461. That now moves up to .466 following the single into right field. Attacks
the first pitch she sees for a single. Puts a runner on for Virginia Tech. In the bottom of the first, no score between NC State and the Hokies. Michelle Chatfield up to the plate for Virginia Tech. First pitch to her, she will go. And she did not go all the way around, but for 1-0 count, it's ball number 1 to Chatfield. Chatfield, the first baseman for Virginia Tech, stares at Wyman, and we'll see it low. Bounces for ball number 2. 2-0 lead for Chatfield. Yesterday worked 2 walks in the contest against the Wolfpack. Went 2 for 2 as well with an RBI. 2-0 to her is going to find the zone for strike number 1. Wyman finding that inside edge. Chatfield third in the order for Virginia Tech. Her teammate Jordan Lynch at first base, who will run to second, attempting to steal, and she cannot. The throw is made in time. Church behind the plate gets it over, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, very nice catch and throw there from Hannah Church, the first Hokie to be caught stealing this entire series.
Meanwhile, at the dish, it's a 3-1 count for Michelle Chatfield. Swing and a miss will make it a full count with 2 away in the bottom of the first. Nobody on for Virginia Tech after Lynch was wiped away. No score yet in the game. Wyman set, rocking the number 28 today. Sends it in for ball 4 on the outside, and that will walk Chatfield. Her third walk in the last 24 hours. Had 2 yesterday, a little bit earlier start with a noon beginning to this contest in game number 3.
Yeah, just such a good eye at the dish, and that's why you place her where you do in the order, and it's just very impressive plate discipline from Chatfield in the 3 spot.
Brings up Zoe Yeager, who takes a strike, courtesy of Wyman, to set her behind 0-1. Chatfield at first base for Virginia Tech with 2 away, bottom of the first, no score. Yeager been a big part of this offense, which has been top in the ACC in hits and total bases this season. Finds space, but sends it to third, where it is a diving catch by Livingston. reels it into her glove to put a stop to the potential rally for Virginia Tech. It keeps us scoreless after 1 inning of action in Blacksburg. We'll take a break, and when we come back, the top of the second on the Virginia Tech Sports Network. Still 0-0 in Blacksburg as we get set for the top of the second inning between NC State and Virginia Tech. I'm Riley Klaus here with Taylor Brettel as we continue the contest. Both sides were able to get a little bit of life on the bases, Taylor, but couldn't bring anybody home.
Yeah, similar story as you just touched on for both sides, and it's because of strong outings from Wyman and Mazzarone. Maybe gave up that first shaky base runner, but able to close it out nonetheless, as Mazzarone will resume back on the rubber for the Hokies to start off the second inning.
That she will. The junior for Virginia Tech getting her second start of this series. Was able to get 1 strikeout back in the first inning. Allowed 1 base runner with a walk. She'll take on Hannah Church. Her first pitch to her will go away for ball number 1. It's Church, Talley, and Massey due up for the Wolfpack in this inning. That's 5, 6, and 7 in the order for NC State. Mazzarone at a 1-0 count will send in the pitch inside for ball number 2. Mazzarone has been a huge factor in a Hokies pitching staff, which has the top ERA in the ACC entering this game at 2.66 entering this contest. We'll send another one away for ball number 3. It's a 3-0 lead in the count for Hannah Church.
Yeah, Church yesterday did not draw one of those walks for NC State, but a prime opportunity here in a 3-0 count.
Mazzarone fires. Wave and a miss from Church to make the count 3-1. Nobody out yet in the top of the second. We're scoreless at Tech Softball Park. Game 3 of this series between Virginia Tech and NC State. Church with her pink batting gloves awaits in the righty's box and will send it up high from Mazzarone for ball number 4. It's a walk to begin the inning, just like the last one started for NC State. So 1 base runner on, nobody away yet in the top of the second. Scoreless so far in the contest. Brings up Morgan Talley. Talley yesterday was the starting pitcher for NC State. She's a 2-way player and takes the first pitch inside of the edge of the zone, and it will be a strike. 0-1. The count for Talley with her teammate Church over at first base for NC State. Mazzarone unleashes the softball, gets a swing and a miss for a strike. 0-2, this time Mazzarone in the lead in the count.
Able to pull the string a little bit there. Leaning was Talley, maybe something that Mazzarone's going to take to her advantage.
Deep breath from Mazzarone, offers the 0-2, sent up to the right and foul territory. Mizell will make it there in time to get the grab and force Church back to first base as well. 1 away, top of the second.
I mean, how many times did we see that with Mizell yesterday? Has had a lot of action in right field. What a great grab there in foul territory.
Star freshman for Virginia Tech, who has played in every contest this season for the Hokies. Brings up Taryn Massey for NC State. left fielder in this contest for the Wolfpack. Sees the first pitch for a strike sent by Mazzarone. It's another 0-1 lead in the count for Mazzarone, this time against Massey. Deep breath from Mazzarone, gets set, fires the 0-1. Up and away for ball number 1. Mazzarone, in her second start of this series, started in game 1, went all 5 innings for Virginia Tech in that contest. A 10-0 victory on day 1 of this series. Sets and sends the 1-1, and it's up high for ball number 2. 2-1 count for Taryn Massey. Her teammate Hannah Church still at first base for the Wolfpack. No score yet in this game. 1 gone in the top of the second. Up high set, then Mazzarone slings it in inside for ball number 3. 3-1 count.
Yeah, Mazzarone trying to attack that inside, just struggling a little bit to guide the zone, pushes that to that 3-1 count.
She gets back on the rubber, stares down Taryn Massey up at the plate for NC State. 3-1, gets a wave and a miss for strike number 2. Full count upcoming between Emma Mazzarone in the circle and Taryn Massey at the plate for NC State with 1 away. Mazzarone dices in the full count, and it's fouled off backwards by Massey. Was fouled right at the Hokie Bird, who's down there today, making an appearance at this game with a full crowd on hand.
It's got to be pretty hot in there, huh?
No
We're hot in this
doubt,
booth
Taylor.
right here. I can't imagine the Hokie Bird.
Full count pitch on the ground, foul. We'll have to do it again. But look out, there's plenty of people, a full parking lot, people in lawn chairs back in left field, just enjoying the day. All types of sports going on in Blacksburg this weekend. Baseball as well going on across the way later today. Full count pitch, popped up foul over to the right by Massey. Way out of reach for anybody in play to make something happen. With 1 away in the top of the second, there's still no score. Hannah Church at first base for NC State. This full count pitch, this time will bring it down Taryn Massey. Emma Mazzarone with the strikeout puts away the second out in the top of the second.
Yeah, way to attack the low and outside's been trying to go in on a lot of these Wolfpack batters. Mazzarone changes up the strategy there, and it works in her favor for her second strikeout of the afternoon.
Brings up Tegan Thrunk, no stranger to this ballpark. Used to be a Virginia Tech Hokie. First pitch to her is put in play. Mazzarone picks it up. An easy underhand toss to Chatfield, who awaits at first, makes the catch, and that will do it for the top of the second. Still scoreless in Blacksburg, as we'll step aside and come back with the Hokies bats right back at it on the Virginia Tech Sports Network.
Pick up your favorites such as nachos, candy, popcorn, waffle fries, and more. While you're up, visit the Hokie Shop inside Rector Fieldhouse to pick up the latest tech gear and sunscreen. Thanks to our concessions and retail partners for the great selections. And as a reminder, alcohol sales will conclude at the end of the 5th inning of today's game.
All right, Hokie fans, we're bringing up the big gun or the big bird in this one. So we need you to be loud. Arthur, start us off here. Hokie! 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 Good job, Bird. Woo! You the man, Arthur.
We're still scoreless in Blacksburg, where it is 0-0 between NC State and Virginia Tech. But Virginia Tech will have the next chance to get on the board as we get set for the bottom of the second. Game number 3 of the series. The Hokies took the first 2. Both did not need to play the whole 7. NC State trying to take that final match back over to the state of North Carolina with some momentum. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech looking for the sweep in this series, and Kylie Aldridge will go up to the plate for Virginia Tech. She had a home run in game number 1 of this series. No doubter, went over the wall. She's the first to step into the box for this bottom of the second, and the first pitch to her is down the middle from Riley Wyman with the strike. Aldridge stares down Wyman. And likewise, Wyman throws it in. It's on the ground to second. Simmers throws to Talley, and that's complete for the first out in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, quick out there for the Wolfpack and for Wyman. He's been throwing a very strong start. We talked about this too. Virginia Tech has scored a run in every single inning in those first 2 contests. We're scoreless in the bottom of the first, and another quick out right there. Only 1 hit in the afternoon.
Brings up Nora Abramovich, a star sophomore for Virginia Tech this season. First pitch to her inside for ball number 1. 1-0 lead for Abramovich. We're scoreless so far, bottom of the second between NC State and Virginia Tech. Abramovich yesterday went 2 for 3 against the Wolfpack with 3 RBI. Sends it up high, it's going back left center, and it goes over the wall. Nora Abramovich gets the scoring started. It's a 1-0 lead for the Hokies.
What a way to square that one up. On a line drive, just was able to clear the wall. That's the offensive spark you want if you're Coach Pete DeMoore.
Big time shot from Abramovich gives Virginia Tech the 1-0 lead in the contest. Her 9th home run of the season. Well, that got the crowd on their feet, and Gabby Mizell has the task of following that up at the plate for Virginia Tech. First pitch to Mizell is down Broadway from Wyman, a strike. It's at 0-1 with 1 away. Nora Abramovich, a solo shot, gives the lead to Virginia Tech. First score of this contest. Next pitch to Mizell, skips low in the dirt in front of Church at the plate. Evens up the count at 1 apiece. Gabby Mizell has played in every contest and started in them for the Hokies. She'll pop it up off her bat to the left side. The third baseman Livingston underneath it to make the catch. 2 away in the bottom of the second. Hokies up 1-0.
Yeah, you get a good response there following the home run. Wyman able to kind of calm down a little bit, deal, and get a quick pop out to third. Exact response you want if you're the Wolfpack.
Rachel Castine up to the plate. She has been absolutely electric with her bat this series. First pitch to her up high to make it 1-0. She's 4 for 4 in this series, Taylor. Yesterday had 2 home runs, including the bookender to walk it off in the 6th inning. Senior, an in-state product, has been incredible throughout her career. Pitch to her up high sets the count at 2-0.
Yeah, and you can tell Wyman might know what Castine did yesterday, kind of pitching around her with that 2-0 count already.
Wyman gets set, steps in, fires in. It's a ball. Down low for ball 3. 3-0 count. Rachel Castine. Wyman offers the 3-0, and it's in there for a strike. Castine almost thought she had a walk, but will keep the duel started. Wyman at a 3-1 deficit in the count. Sees Castine send it up high left, foul territory. The left fielder, Massey, makes a tough catch to put an end to the second inning. Virginia Tech up 1-0 after a solo shot from Nora Abramovich in Tech Softball Park. We'll take a break and come back for the top of the third on the Virginia Tech Sports Network.
77 miles per hour. And your score after 2. NC State 0 and Virginia Tech 1. Tech fans, we'll see you in just under 2 weeks as the Hokies host Clemson at Tech Softball Park for a 3-game series. Don't miss Retro Weekend with the Hokies Thursday, April the 2nd through Saturday, April the 4th. For your chance to receive our featured giveaway, Black Vintage DP ball caps. For more information on our next home series, visit HokieSports.com or the official Hokies Sports app.
We're ready for the top of the third in Blacksburg, Virginia, where the Hokies hold a 1-0 lead in the contest over NC State. Riley Klaus joined by Taylor Gretel on the Virginia Tech Sports Network. Today's game also simulcast on the ACC Network Extra. But Nora Abramovich with a solo shot got the scoring started, and she just continues to impress in her sophomore campaign, Taylor.
Yeah, Abramovich following that home run, now batting .378 on the season, and that one did not have, too much elevation on it. She just put it on a frozen rope over the fence, really smacked that one out of here, got very perfect contact.
Went all the way in the deep part of that outfield, able to get it over. Meanwhile, currently Emma Mazzarone in the circle for Virginia Tech takes on Sarah Johnson of NC State. The first pitch to her is going to fall for ball number 1. Johnson made this same exact position yesterday in the lineup, 9 spot, playing right field, gets another start in today's game. As their turquoise bats, and the first pitch this time will be a strike. It evens up the count at 1-1. Top of the third, Virginia Tech up 1-0 over NC State. Mazzarone received the start for Virginia Tech in this contest, offers it in, finds the zone for strike number 2. She's got 2 strikeouts so far today in the midst of trying to work her third. Steps back on the rubber. Holds it in her glove, sets up high, offers, swing and a miss from Johnson. Emma Mazzarone has her 3rd strikeout of the game.
Yeah, that was probably the most impressive strikeout because you had high velocity, that one, the strikeout coming at 72 miles per hour. But the pitch before that, right down the middle of the zone at 57, kind of caused Johnson to buckle her knees. And Mazzarone's just so good when she gets a lefty-lefty matchup.
She'll send it up high on the first pitch to the top of the order, Maya Townsend for NC State. Townsend, her first time up, walked. It's still 1-0. Virginia Tech over NC State in the top of the third. Townsend puts it in play, able to get a piece of it. It goes to left field, rolls in front of Abramovich, makes a throw that gets away from Castine at second, and that allows for Townsend to run to second and all the way to third. Stops at third base, and the throw goes beyond Mazzarone, but will bounce away, and that allows for Townsend to get all the way home on a wacky sequence.
Yeah, have fun scoring that one in your book, Riley. I mean, what a way to take advantage. 2 mistakes from that Hokies defense. Townsend was able to track that ball right past her head on 2 overthrows, and he'll gladly take that to knot this game up at 1 apiece. But for the Virginia Tech defense, got to be just a little bit smarter with the sophomore.
And Townsend didn't even give a full swing on that piece as well, but was able to stay fair. A couple of not quite on the money throws allow for the Wolfpack to strike. First pitch in the direction of Carly Short is a strike from Emma Mazzarone. It's a single in which she made it home. That's, like you said, odd in the scorebook. 0-1 pitch to short is away for ball 1. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had that one, Taylor. That I've got a shaded diamond in my scorebook after a single is what it was there. Back right up the middle from short. A great stop by Rose. That short throws to Chatfield on a rope to first base to get the second out at the top of the third.
Yeah, what a great way to respond after the defensive blunder to the previous at-bat. Able to calm down just a little bit. And Rose, one of the best defenders on this Virginia Tech squad, playing shortstop today.
No doubt at one of the hardest positions to play as well. Makes it look easy as she was rolling to her left. Mazarone's first pitch to Kendall Simmers will be ruled foul. Appeared as though it could have hit Simmers. We're going to discuss this. We can't see from our angle. May have hit her bat in some way.
Yeah, trying to view how that really just ricocheted that hard. You didn't see too much of a grudge. It's more likely than not that hit the bottom of the bat, and it looks like that's what the officials are going to go with.
Yeah, our umpires meet. It's Philip Friels behind the plate today, Roger Potts at third, and Heath Walker at first for our officials in this contest. It is indeed a foul ball, so 0-1 gets sent away towards Kendall Simmers. Yesterday, Simmers had a single in the first inning, also later worked a walk. Lone Wolfpack member to get on base twice in yesterday's contest. 1-0-1, popped up high, shallow. Lynch from third runs in to make the catch, does so, and that will do it for the top of the third. The Wolfpack are able to strike, and that allows for a 1-1 tie in this game. Or even when we come back after this on the Virginia Tech Sports Network.
Hockey fans, it's time to reveal who's that hooky. The hooky who's a former volleyball player and gymnast, and who has a sister that works at a zoo, is Sophie Kleiman. Thanks to everyone for playing Who's That Hooky?
Welcome back to Blacksburg, Virginia in Tech Softball Park, where the NC State Wolfpack were able to knock this game up at 1 run apiece as we enter the bottom of the third inning. I'm Taylor Brettel, joined alongside Riley Klaus. Back on the rubber will still be Riley Wyman for the NC State Wolfpack. Stepping into that right-hander's batter's box will be Annika Rose. We had a great play, a 6-3 putout in the top half of the inning.
Yeah, you mentioned one of the best defenders on the team when that play was made. She is really incredible at that spot, but also has had a lot of great moments at this 9-hole position in the lineup offensively.
Here's the first pitch to Rose. That one falls just a little bit high. Count will be 1 ball and no strikes. Annika Rose on the season, batting just .250. Get herself on base here, also has 6 RBI on the season. Second pitch delivered, that one high as well. It's a quick 2-0 count for Rose and the Hokies.
Taking her time, being patient, and has the lead in the count.
Rose, the junior, steps back into the box with 2-0 count, dribbles that one, shortstop. It's collected by short, fire on to first, a perfect throw there. Talley able to receive it on the other end. Rose hits it to her own position of shortstop. NC State able to get her out.
Exactly right after she made that great play in the top half of this inning. Short with a great play of her own at that spot. puts away that first down.
Addison Foster now, the junior, steps in the left-hand batter's box, the leadoff hitter for the Hokies today. First pitch is up and outside. Count will move to 1 ball and no strikes. Foster did not collect a hit in her first at-bat, but nonetheless, still batting .423 on the season, the second highest average on the Hokies. Here's the 1-0 delivery, swung on and missed. Count will push to 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, no runners on for the Hokies. Center fielder for Virginia Tech, Addison Foster, looking to do some damage after NC State knotted this game back up at 1 apiece in the top half. Here's the delivery. Flied high into center field, and tracking it is Townsend, calling off her fielders and is able to corral that one there. Maya Townsend tracking that one very well. We talked about the sun today, Riley. I mean, it is beaming and the sky is almost bright white. All these fly balls, they make it look so easy, but it is a pretty tough play every single time.
Yeah, no kidding. You talk about the conditions, and that one took a lot of communication. There were multiple members of NC State converging on it. Townsend able to wave it off in time.
Jordan Lynch, now the batter for the Hokies, will take the first pitch low for ball 1. Lynch is the leading batter on the Hokies with a .466 average. Already has a hit earlier in this contest, 1 of 2 for Virginia Tech. There's a single that dropped into right field. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Here's the 1-0 delivery. An attempt out of swing, but able to hold up on the appeal down to 3rd. Count will push to 2 balls and no strikes. Jordan Lynch, in just her sophomore season. See the 2-0 delivery. That one way high past the catcher. No one on base, so it does not matter too much, but the count pushes to 3-0 nonetheless. If Lynch were to reach base, standing on deck is Michelle Chatfield, the first baseman today for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Here's the 3-0 delivery. That one's taken in there. Strike 1. Will not be a 4-pitch walk for Lynch. Count pushes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Wyman able to find the zone once more. That one coming in at 67 miles an hour. Looking to make this count full. Wyman back on the rubber, delivers that one, lined into center field, right into the glove of Townsend. An easier play there compared to the high pop-up she got earlier in the inning. And it's a quick inning for the NC State Wolfpack. They're able to hold Virginia Tech scoreless and keep this tied up at 1 apiece. We'll be back shortly with the Virginia Tech Sports Network.
It's time to announce our final of the game. Take a look at Hokie Vision to see if you're our lucky winner. If you are, you can pick up your Hokies prize pack at the promotions booth during this inning break. And now, fans, it's time for Beyond the Box Score, presented by Eagle Construction. If you think you know how the Hokies voted in today's question on Hokie Vision, be the first to tell the promotions booth for your chance to win. Good luck.
Welcome back to Tech Softball Park in Blacksburg, Virginia, as we enter the top of the 4th inning between the Virginia Tech Hokies and the NC State Wolfpack. I'm Taylor Brettel, joined alongside Riley Klaus. And Riley, a different offensive day for the Hokies, just 1 run through 3 innings of play. This pitching staff of NC State and Riley Wyman has been able to hold the Hokies rather silent.
Yeah, exactly right. Just the 1 solo shot from Nora Abramovich. And, you know, it's kind of bound when the series goes one direction for so long. You kind of expect a little bit maybe more of an even race in the 3rd after both sides have been able to see each other. But the Wolfpack has been able to fight back in this game, and we're all squared up because of that strong defense you mentioned.
3rd baseman Lily Livingston will be up in the box, and remaining on the rubber for the Hokies is Emma Mazzaro. Here's the first pitch. That one just misses the outside edge. Count will push to 1 ball and no strikes. Livingston in her first at-bat did strike out against Mazzarone, one of Mazzarone's 3 strikeouts this afternoon at Tech Softball Park. Here's the 1-0 delivery. That one a check swing, she went around. Count will push to 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, Mazzarone building off of what she did in that first outing where it's kind of just it's really tricky. You know, it's kind of deceptive as to whether you think you can really get a swing at it or not.
Here's the 3rd pitch. That one bounces in the dirt. An easy take there for the freshman, Lily Livingston. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. The Alabama native looking to do some damage here and wake up the offense for NC State that has just 1 hit this afternoon. Here's the 2-1 delivery from Mazzarone. That one dribbled, and it's going to be gloved by Mazzarone. Flipped to first base. An easy, quick play there for the Hokies. Michelle Chatfield able to corral that one at first, and it's a quick out for Virginia Tech.
It's the 3rd time today, Taylor. She's had to go and pick up one of the pitches she sent herself, and great connection with Chatfield makes the easy play.
That's been the big thing about Mazzarone's outing so far. The only hard contact was that liner down the left field line by Townsend. That did result in a run, but not a run against Mazzarone. Here's the first pitch. That one a little bit just too high to Hannah Church. Church earlier in the contest did draw a walk, one of the 2 walks that Mazzarone has been taxed for. With 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Check swing attempt, but was able to hold up on a ball that went low. Count will push to 2 balls and no strikes for Hannah Church, the catcher for the Wolfpack today. Mazzarone looking to work back from what is a 2-0 deficit that she holds. Here's the delivery. That one swung on and missed. Fired in there at 72 miles per hour. Hannah Church swung right through that one. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike.
There it is again, just with that speed Mazzarone brings on her pitches.
Uncorks the 2-1 delivery. That one fouled straight back off the netting. After a 2-0 count, Mazzarone able to get it to 2-2 following the foul tip off the bat of Hannah Church. Church was a designated player yesterday, but now playing catcher for the Wolfpack today. 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. No one on base for the Wolfpack. Here's the 2-2 delivery. That one's in there, strike 3. Caught her looking. Emma Mazzarone in a 2-0 count, able to fire off 3 straight strikes and collect yet another strikeout on the afternoon. That is her 4th through 3 2/3 innings.
Yeah, when she finds her rhythm, it's just really hard to hit the softball.
Up to bat now is Morgan Talley, the pitcher yesterday for the Wolfpack, now at first base today. First pitch in there. That one just a little bit outside. Count is 1-0. Talley bats .319 on the season and has smacked 7 home runs so far for the Wolfpack. Here's the 1-0 delivery from Mazzarone. That one swung on and missed. Swords her. Not the prettiest of swings there. Mazzarone caught Talley guessing. Talley falls way behind that, 72 mile per hour. Pitch to move the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind and fire from Mazzarone, and a swing and a foul tip there. Count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mazzarone really starting to find the zone now. Went down in another early deficit at 1-0, but 2 straight strikes and 1 away from closing out the top of the 4th inning in Tech Softball Park. Mazzarone winds and fires. That one swung on and missed. Emma Mazzarone collects her 5th strikeout of the afternoon through just 4 innings of work. The Hokies will remain knotted up at 1 apiece as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning on the Virginia Tech Sports Network.
Check out Hokie Vision for today's answer and Beyond the Box Score, presented by Eagle Construction.
welcome you back to Tech Softball Park in Blacksburg, Virginia. All knotted up at 1 run apiece as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning. The Virginia Tech Hokies with just 2 hits on the afternoon, the Wolfpack with just 1, but nonetheless a knotted up 1-1 ball game. I'm Taylor Brettel, joined alongside Riley Klaus. And Riley, it's really been a pitcher's duel this afternoon as Riley Wyman of the NC State Wolfpack will be back in the circle for NC State.
You know, Wyman and Mazzarone in this game have both performed really, really well in this contest, and that has kind of put a stop to what Virginia Tech has had a great offense over all 3 games of this series going so far. Meanwhile, NC State had that first inning yesterday. We know they can put them up as well, but so far the pitchers have kind of outlasted the bats so far.
Here's the first pitch at the bottom of the inning. That one is able to clip the outside edge for strike 1 to Michelle Chatfield. Chatfield in her first at-bat today was able to draw a walk, the right-hander, batting .390 on the season and batting 3rd for the Virginia Tech Hokies today. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That one on the outside edge once more. Chatfield took it again. Count moves to 0-2. Wyman able to find the outside edge with ease over these first 2 pitches. Down in an 0-2 count. Chatfield looking to respond. That one on the outside once more, not called for a strike. Count pushes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Wyman once again starting off pretty well in this inning.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. That one dribbled and it's gloved. What a play there by Wyman. Fires to first and Talley able to corral that one. A great play off the short hop. Wyman does the work herself.
And this is another example, Taylor. Wyman pitched earlier in this series in game number 1, and she was only able to go 1 2/3, and it wasn't her best stuff. But here she is in this game, absolutely going back to kind of her normal of a trustworthy player.
First pitch there to Yeager in there for a strike. And to your point, Riley, it's not like these lineups have changed for Pete Moore's squad. It's very exact similar lineup to what she faced. So definitely took that scouting report, worked on it a little bit, and has performed very well today. As the count is now 0-1 to Zoe Yeager, who is hitless after just 1 at-bat. Swung on and missed there. A foul tip actually will be called. Count moves to no balls and 2 strikes nonetheless to Yeager. Umpire returns the softball to Wyman there. Got a little bit dirty on that foul ball there. Went straight into the dirt. Getting a new clean one for Wyman. Zoe Yeager in an 0-2 count with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. The junior from Neptune Beach, Florida, looking to do some damage for what has been a quiet offense for Virginia Tech with just 2 hits. Here's the 0-2 delivery, dribble to third, and that one will roll foul. Nice play there by the third base coach.
Everyone playing heads up today. I know there's plenty of people in the crowd too. Foul ball ever makes its way into the stands.
Yeager yesterday, 1 for 2, drove in 2 runners and walked twice. Here's the pitch, that one low and outside. Count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeager in the 4-hole for Virginia Tech, grounded out in her first at-bat. Wyman has allowed only 2 hits today and looking for her first strikeout. That one is laced off the left fence, and man, the netting right there. Way ahead of it was Yeager. That's some good signs if you foul it off and you are way early, but man, that in a blink of an eye. Wow, Riley.
Yeah, Kylie Aldridge in the on-deck circle had the duck there for a moment. She was just shocked that softball coming that fast at her and up high, too.
Here's the 1-2 delivery to Yeager. That one dribbled through the middle of the infield. It's going to find some grass, and it'll be a single for Zoe Yeager in the 3rd hit of the afternoon for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Laced one off the left field netting, able to shoot that one up the middle, and the Hokies are in business early.
That they are. Zoe Yeager showing up, and she has throughout her whole career at Virginia Tech, but gets a little bit of momentum rolling.
Kylie Aldridge, the designated player for Virginia Tech today, had a home run in the first game, steps into the left-hand batter's box. Here's the 0-0 delivery. That one low and inside, called for ball 1. Yeager with a slight lead off first base, but holding rather close with Talley playing first base right there for the Wolfpack, and that'll take us to a quick mound visit following the first pitch ball. Reviewing Wyman's line today has been 3 1/3 innings. He has only allowed 3 hits, 1 run, which was earned, and just 1 walk.
I'll tell you though, Taylor, both sides to me in this series have done a really good job of when there's even just a hint of it not being perfect out there in the circle, go and meet and try to lock in before things go off the rails. This has been a really great performance from Wyman so far, where really just that solo shot is the only reason there's a score on the board. But as soon as, you know, there's one hit, maybe just a second of lost command, they take the time to meet in the circle, and that makes a lot of sense for the Wolfpack because this is an even game. Every single pitch and moment is going to matter the rest of the way.
Well, the senior regroups with her coach and her team as they all touch gloves and file back into their positions. The count is 1-0 to Kylie Aldridge. Just 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the delivery. That one able to find the zone. A needed mound visit there, to your point, Riley, able to collect herself. Count moves to 1-1. Here's the 1-1 delivery. That one a little bit inside, called for ball 2. Aldridge able to back up just a little bit, avoids hitting the kneecaps. Lyman resets herself in the circle now. The count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Adjusts the glove, winds and fires. Aldridge takes that pitch once more. Count will move to 3 balls and 1 strike. Runner on first for the Hokies is catcher Zoe Yeager. The Hokies are all knotted up at 1 apiece in Tech Softball Park in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the 3-1 delivery. That one inside once more, and it'll be another free pass for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Kylie Aldridge able to draw the walk there. Coming up to the dish will be Nora Abramovich, who has the only run for the Hokies this afternoon. Laced a home run over the left center wall on a frozen rope. Riley, that one got out in a hurry.
Yeah, and looks like a couple of pinch runners coming in for Virginia Tech.
Something about this Hokies roster, they have a very deep roster for a lot of pinch runners. We saw this a lot with Pete Demore in earlier contests. He's going to take advantage of that here. Lila Blackwell will play second, or will stand at second base, and Lily Palente will stand at first. Wearing number 99 is Palente, and number 21 is Blackwell.
Yeah, those two often used by Pete Demore in these situations. So Blackwell at second, Palante at first. And guess who at the plate? Of course, like you said, Abramovich.
A very dangerous hitter for Virginia Tech, batting .378. Here's the first pitch, that one in there for strike 1. Once again, to reiterate, 1 for 1 today with a home run. He's been really the only one to do damage against Wyman, who remains in the game for the Wolfpack, has runners on first and second, but just 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That one falls a little bit low and inside. Count pushes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Abramovich will step out of the box, collect herself just a little bit, now back in there. Wyman does the same, but on the rubber. Winds and fires the 1-1. That one a little bit inside once more. Count will push to 2 balls and 1 strike. Both players collecting themselves once more with the 2-1 count. Here's the delivery. That one high and outside. Count will push to 3 balls and 1 strike. Riley Wyman starting to lose the zone a little bit, and that's going to take it to another quick mound visit. This one mainly just with her catcher, number 23, Hannah Church. Just trying to get on the same page here.
Exactly right. Just another moment where things are slipping a little bit. They're going to regather, try to lock in. And as well for Virginia Tech, they're built on the extra base hits, but they do not mind a walk whatsoever in this situation. So Abramovich with the chance up at the plate. And after that little visit, let's see how this one goes.
Hokies have drawn 2 walks today. One was Michelle Chatfield, the other Kylie Aldridge. With the 3-1 count resuming from the quick mound visit between the battery of NC State. Here's the delivery. And that one a little bit high and outside. It's going to load the bases for the Virginia Tech Hokies. A big chance to do some damage in a 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the 4th inning. Stepping into the box for Virginia Tech will be Gabby Mazzell. Said 1 at bat today, did not collect a hit, but batting .323 on the season. It's going to take us to another quick meeting at the mound for NC State. Walking towards the dugout will be Riley Wyman. Gonna get a pitching change for the Wolfpack. Coming in appears to be Wynn Gore, who pitched in yesterday's contest, had 3 innings pitched, gave up 9 hits and 6 earned runs, but she's back in the circle looking to bounce back from a shaky outing in Game 2 of this weekend series in Blacksburg, Virginia at Tech Softball Park.
Yeah, especially when she first came in there, she initially had some good command when she stepped in to the circle yesterday. Has been an arm used in a pinch. She's thrown a couple complete games this season for NC State, but this is another chance. We saw Wyman recover pretty well after already seeing the Hokies this week. Wynn Gore this time gets a chance to go out into the circle and once again tasked with a tough spot, right? I mean, here you go, bases loaded, you tie a game, stakes high, and so she'll have the task of trying to keep the Hokies at bay. What's interesting too, Gabby Mazzell, as just a freshman, you know, hasn't had as many of these specific opportunities, right, with the table set for her, and so this is a big one for her upcoming to see what she has in the tank.
Pressure situation for all in this knotted up 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the 4th inning. Virginia Tech took the first 2 games against the Wolfpack, but the Wolfpack looking to steal the last one on the last game of the 3-game weekend series. Still warming up for the NC State Wolfpack is Gore. To reiterate the stat line once more, the right-hander for the Wolfpack as she meets with her team. Did throw 3 innings, and to Riley's point, had command early, but then it started to fall off just a little bit. But a big thing, she was able to find the zone a lot, but the Hokies did take advantage of that. Despite 6 runs given up in those 3 innings, no walks for Gore, was really attacking the zone. Will be interesting to see how she pursues it here with now the bases juiced, a very tough position to come into.
Because they threw in yesterday bases loaded. She got the final out when needed. Then got her next batter out. Then is when the struggle started a little bit, but in a similar spot yesterday, she did perform at least to get that last out.
And Jordan Bishop will be the new hitter for Virginia Tech. Just a freshman, takes the first pitch there for a strike. The outfielder from Cartersville, Georgia, with a big opportunity here. 1-1 ball game, bottom of the 4th inning. Freshman Jordan Bishop into the right-hand batter's box. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That one rolled in front of the plate, will fall for ball 1. How about a big situation here?
Yeah, and Bishop this year as a reserve hasn't had the most time, but what, her first 2 hits in a Hokie uniform, home runs back at the Hokie Invite in Salem.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. That one dribbled to the left side, and that will roll foul. Bishop on the season batting .375 and has driven in 4 runners. To your point, those first 2 hits clearing the fence. And in a knotted up ball game, you know, Coach Pete DeMore would love this one to clear the fence to drive home 4, but you take some runs in no matter the fashion. Gore with the 1-2 pitch. That one outside, called strike 3. What a response there, coming into relief for Wynn Gore. Able to catch Bishop looking. That'll be the 2nd out of the inning, and it'll turn it over to number 44, Rachel Castine, who had 2 home runs yesterday against NC State, one of them coming against Gore, who stands on the rubber right now. Here's the 0-0 pitch. That one will be called for a ball. Another big opportunity here for both sides, for Gore to get out of this jam and for Castine to break the score wide open. Quickly back in the circle, here's the 1-0 delivery. Swung on, dribble to the left side. Livingston gloves it, fires it off to first, and they're able to complete the 5-3 putout. A strong play there from the Wolfpack. Bases loaded, only 1 out, able to get back-to-back outs, and a huge way to save just a 1-1 score as we enter the top of the 5th inning. We'll be back after a short break on the Virginia Tech Sports Network.
It's time to announce the answer and our winner for what's in the mini spots. Today's answer was 237 stickers. Take a look at Hokie Baby to see if you're our lucky winner. If you are, you can pick up your mini cross pack at the promotions booth during this inning break.
Welcome back to ACC softball. We got a matchup between the Virginia Tech Hokies and the NC State Wolfpack, all knotted up at 1 run apiece. We enter the top of the 5th inning. Taylor Brettel joined alongside Riley Klaus. Riley, danger territory there for the Wolfpack. Bases loaded, only 1 out, but able to get back-to-back outs to preserve this tied ball game.
Yeah, Wynn Gore did what she needed to do in the circle, get put in a tough spot and able to get out of it. And this game certainly has been the closest that we've had all weekend at Tech Softball Park.
Very much so. Emma Mazarone will remain in the circle for the Virginia Tech Hokies. And up to bat for NC State is Taryn Massey, the left fielder, batting .243 on the season. Here's the first pitch. Falls in there for strike 1. A little check swing attempt didn't matter. It gets called for the first strike of the inning. Mazarone already ahead in the count, which is something she struggled with a little bit today. As the 0-1 in her favor, winds and fires. That one just a little bit high and outside. Count will push to even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Taryn Massey, in her first at-bat, did strike out against Mazarone. That's one of Mazarone's 5 strikeouts today. Here's the 1-1 delivery. That one fouled straight back off the net, and count will push to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You talk about getting up early in the count has been something that helps Virginia Tech pitchers, and really any of them, immensely. Mazarone at her best can get up 0-2 when able. Other times, like you mentioned, it goes the other way.
Mazarone unleashes the 1-2. That one swung on and missed. Kind of a check swing there from Massey, but she crossed the front of home plate. Another strikeout for Emma Mazarone. That will be her 6th of the evening. In 4 1/3 innings of work, just 66 pitches to do so, 40 of them falling for strikes.
3 straight strikeouts for her as well.
Into the box now will be Tegan Thrunk. That one high for ball 1. Thrunk will move to right field for NC State. Batting just .222 on the season, has driven in 2 runners. And is ahead in a 1-0 count. Mazarone deals the second pitch. That one in and hits Thrunk. That'll be a walk, but you have to make sure she's okay. That one came in at 71 miles an hour, hit her in an awkward spot. Able to walk it off, Thrunk and Mazarone. Make sure one another is okay. And what a way to walk that one off. I mean, that one came in there in a hurry, Riley.
Yeah, that one was a fast pitch, and Thrunk, tough, able to get over to first base, at least for the moment. It's kind of moving gingerly a little bit, and that can't feel good, I'll tell you that, guaranteed.
No, it cannot. And we're gonna have a quick pause in the game here just to make sure that Thrunk's okay now. Some smiles, some I'm good. You can see the hand motion saying I'm good, don't bring anyone else in for me. Very tough to fight that one off in quick fashion. With Thrunk now on first base following the hit by pitch, Ellington Whitaker, the new catcher for NC State, will step into the right-hand batter's box. Batting just .174 on the season, a big opportunity here. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. That one finds the outside a little bit just too wide. Another 1-0 count for Emma Mazarone. Runner on first. 1-1 game in the top of the 5th inning. All tied up here. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Mazarone. That one a little bit low and outside. Count will push to 2 balls and no strikes. Big opportunity here for NC State to do some damage. A runner on, ahead in a count 2-0. And after Whitaker, you're going to flip to the top of the order to Maya Townsend. Here's the 2-0. That one able to find the zone. The first strike of the at-bat for Mazarone. Count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. After a deep breath, here's the 2-1 delivery. That one dribbled to the left side. It's going to fall foul. Lynch able to glove it, but just a little bit out of play. Count will move to 2 balls and 2 strikes with number 2 up to bat. Double play opportunity here for the Hokies. Also with 6 strikeouts, an opportunity for the 7th from Mazarone. Here's the 2 delivery. That one low and outside. Count will move full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dangerous territory here for the Hokies. One pitch away from having runners on first and second. In the top of the order up, Mazzarone looking to not have that damage go against her. Back on the rubber. Uncorks the full count. That one swung on and missed. Mazzarone able to work back from a deficit and strike out Ellington Whitaker for her 7th strikeout in just 4 2/3 innings of work. 2 outs now in the inning.
She's been on fire this weekend in the strikeout department. And another one added for Emma Mazzarone, keeping the score where it is for Virginia Tech.
Maya Townsend now up for NC State. The center fielder did drive in the only run for NC State this afternoon on what was a single with 2 errors to follow. Was able to bring herself home. Her average on the season now bumps up to a team-leading 388. Pink bat definitely has some magic in it. One of the best slap hitters on this Wolfpack team. Here's the 1-0. That one falls into the zone for strike one. Count will not up at 1-1. Once again, Tegan Thrunk, the one standing on first for NC State. In the batter's box, Maya Townsend, who does have 11 RBI on the season. Mazzarone winds and fires the 1-1. That one falls low. Count will push to 2 balls and 1 strike. It's Mazzarone's 74th pitch of the evening. Pitch number 75 coming up on the 2-1 count. In a 1-1 game in the top of the 5th inning. NC State looking to do some damage, take advantage of the 2-1 hole. Here's the delivery. Swung on and missed there. Townsend reached for that one. Mazzarone a little bit wide. Results in a strike nonetheless. 1 strike away from getting out of this inning is Mazzarone.
But once again, the swing and miss that she's been able to really get going from the opposition.
Junior with the 2-2 count, winds and fires. A little check swing there. Appeal down, it's gonna say Townsend did not go. Count will push to full. Ryan Townsend, the senior from Alabama, looking to make some noise for NC State on this full count pitch. Swung on, and that one's rolled right in front of the catcher. Called fair, and Townsend's gonna be able to beat it out. Not able to make the play in time was Yeager. About as short of a hit as you can get, but Townsend plays center field for a reason, able to cover a lot of ground and beat that one out. You'll take a hit nonetheless. Just the 2nd one of the afternoon for NC State, both coming for Maya Townsend.
Yeah, this is one of the oddest box scores probably when it's all said and done for her. She's been able to get multiple hits. She's 2 for 2 in this game with a walk, but the 2 singles might be the oddest I've seen at this ballpark in a while. First one was able to stay fair, then that one, her speed pays off.
First pitch now to Short, dribble to the left side. Carly Short on the season, batting for NC State as we speak. That's .324, has 3 home runs, has driven in 18 runners as well. Runners stand on first and second. On second base, Tegan Thrunk. First base, Maya Townsend, who's able to beat out that dribbler right in front of home. An 0-1 count for Mazzarone in the Hokies in a 1-1 game. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That one low and outside. Count will not back up at 1-1. Carly Short has 2 groundouts today. One coming in the first, one coming in the third. She's up for her 3rd at-bat of the afternoon. Mazzarone resets, now fires the 1-1 pitch. That one a little bit high, called for ball 2. Able to hold up that check swing attempt was short. Count will push to 2 balls and 1 strike. And a quick mound visit here as Mazzarone struggling just a little bit to find the zone. Has 80 pitches on the day, only 46 of them to fall for strikes. And you talked about this too, Riley. You know, some of these mound visits for both sides have paid off. Just a quick little visit, you come back out, and usually a strike has been delivered. Hokies hoping for the exact same result here.
Yeah, Virginia Tech hasn't had to do it much today with Mazzarone, as she's been very, very effective. But once again, with this being a 1-1 ball game, pretty much as even as you can get, it's 3 hits to 2 hits in the direction of Virginia Tech. Every single possession and every opportunity is going to matter. And so Mazzarone here, like you said, just very slightly losing it. It's a chance for her to go and get this final out and give her bats the chance to add back to the scoreboard.
Mazzarone breaking the mound visit will be holding a 2-1 count to her name. 2025 2025 was All-ACC third-teamer, 2024 All-ACC second-teamer and freshman team. Junior looks to reset here, fire in a strike, but standing in the right-hand batter's box looking to do damage is Carly Short. Here's a 2-1 pitch. That one dribble to the right side, able to glove it and step on first. An easy play there from Michelle Chatfield. Actually, a pretty tough play, but Chatfield makes it look easy. We'll put it that way. A great glove there. Step on the bag. Hokies escape a little scary inning. We'll be back on the Virginia Tech Sports Network.
Fans, it's time for the 5th inning stretch. Get off and stretch with BCI Victory Mark.
All right, Hokies, it's 5th inning. It's time for some Arthur magic. All right, buddy.
We resume action in the bottom of the 5th inning in what is still knotted up at a 1-1 game between the Virginia Tech Hokies and the NC State Wolfpack. I'm Taylor Brettel, joined alongside Riley Clausen. Riley, just a totally different story compared to these first 2 games. The Hokies taking the first one by a score of 10-0 in 5 innings, the second one a score of 11-3 in 6 innings. Right here, a knotted up game as we enter the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, it has been more of a defensive showdown between these two squads, as neither offense has been able to really prevail, and so you got to give credit to the pitching staff on both sides. Feels like eventually somebody's going to crack the code. As a familiar face goes into the batter's box, but we've seen her in the circle today, Taylor.
Yeah, Emma Mazzarone steps into the left-hand batter's box for Virginia Tech, a dual-threat player batting .308 on the season. Here's the first pitch. That one fouled off to the left side. Gotta watch out, a lot of cars down there near the Beamer statue. Seem to have fallen safe of any of them. The count moves to no balls and 1 strike. Here's the 0-1 delivery to Mazzarone. That one finds the zone at just 49 miles an hour. Buckled the knees of Mazzarone. Count pushes to 0-2. Quick 1-2-3. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Winds and fires. That one swung on foul. Tip into the glove. Mazzarone strikes out on just 3 pitches. Great way to start the bottom of the 5th for NC State.
Yeah, Wynn Gore staying well out in the circle after getting the final 2 outs last inning. Stepping in with the bases loaded. Takes care of the first one here in the bottom of the 5th.
So the order will flip back to the top to Addison Foster. Here's the first pitch. That one falls in for a strike, just 49 miles an hour once more. Gore able to place that pitch so well. 1 to Mazzarone, now 1 to Foster. Foster with 2 flyouts today. Looking for her first hit. Here is the 0-1 delivery. That one laced to the right side, able to glove it as Simmers. Fire on the first. Talley makes the catch there. Quick first 2 outs for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Now up to bat will be Jordan Lynch. Wears number 16 and leads the Hokies with a .462 batting average. Had a single in her first at-bat that dropped into right field. Here's the first pitch from Gore. And another one, able to find the zone, buckling the knees of Jordan Lynch. This pitch is on for Gore. That one coming in a tick higher at 50 miles an hour, Riley.
Yeah, she's found her rhythm at the moment, and that is big for NC State trying to keep pace in this game.
Gore throwing batters off. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That one fouled high, and the fall out of play to the left side. Count pushes to no balls and 2 strikes.
Taking those leads in the count certainly helps as well. Gore's done that very efficiently so far.
Through 1 1/3 2/3 innings. Gore has needed just 11 pitches. Here comes the 12th. That one falls just short. Try to get another knee buckle there out of Lynch, but falls short of the front of home plate. Count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So we're in a 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning at Tech Softball Park in Game 3 of this series against NC State and Virginia Tech. Here's the pitch. That one slow once more, but a little bit too high upstairs. Count pushes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Strong fight back from Lynch so far in this at-bat.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. That one bounces back to the backstop. Count will move to 3 balls and 2 strikes. No runners on for the Hokies, so no one can advance on the wild pitch. Once again, Jordan Lynch earlier today had a single and then flew out in her second at-bat. 1 for 2 afternoon with a full count facing her right here. 2 outs in the inning. Here's the full count delivery. That one dribbled to the right side and able to find some grass in right field. The second hit of the afternoon for Jordan Lynch. Get someone on base for the Virginia Tech Hokies, looking to do some noise. Coming up for Virginia Tech will be Michelle Chatfield, first baseman that made the final play to end the top of the 5th inning. Now will step into the right-hand batter's box. Earlier today has drawn a walk, and her second at-bat did ground out. Here's the first pitch from Gore. Ball's a little low. Count will be 1-0. Michelle Chatfield, the junior for Virginia Tech, with a 1-0 count. That one dribbled to the left side, gloved, fire off to first, and that play is going to be made by the Wolfpack. Wobbled it there, but it will say on the transfer, Morgan Talley able to corral it for long enough to wrap up the bottom of the 5th inning and keep this score at 1 apiece. We'll be back with the top of the 6th on the Virginia Tech Sports Network.
It's an even race between NC State and Virginia Tech at Tech Softball Park as we resume the action for the top of the 6th. It's 1-1 between the Wolfpack and the Hokies. I'm Riley Klaus here with Taylor Brettel on the Virginia Tech Sports Network. Today's game also simulcast on ACC Network Extra. Emma Mazzarone remains in the circle for Virginia Tech. She took an at-bat in the bottom half of the 5th, but back out there pitching for the Hokies, in which she's been able to have a strong day with 5 innings. No earned runs against her. That 1 run, a couple of errors involved on what was a wacky play with Maya Townsend having a single and then a couple of throwing errors leading to her making it all the way home. But we pick up with Kendall Simmers up at the plate for NC State. Start 1-0 count after the ball sent by Mazzarone gives the lead to Simmers. Following her, currently scheduled, will be Lily Livingston and Hannah Church as we continue the top of the 6th. It's a 1-1 score. Mazzarone gets set, fires in the pitch for ball number 2. Game 3 of the series between NC State and Virginia Tech. The Hokies controlled the first 2. Outscoring NC State a combined 21-3 in those 2 contests. This one an even match. 2-0 sent in for ball number 3 from Mazzarone.
Yeah, not the best of starts for Mazaron. 3 pitches, 3 balls, all not really finding the zone, looking to collect herself here.
Takes a deep breath, steps on the rubber, and unwinds for ball number 4. That will walk Kendall Simmers. The Wolfpack has a base runner in the top of the 6th with nobody away in a tie ball game. That will bring up Lily Livingston for NC State. Mazaron will get an extra second in the circle. And yeah, all of this was waiting to see who maybe would be placing in pinch running. So Simmers will be taken out at first in replace of Gabby Wilson, the pinch runner. So Wilson, the new runner at first for NC State. Game still tied at 1 apiece. Top of the 6th, nobody out yet. Mazaron will now take on Lily Livingston of the Wolfpack. First pitch to her, in for a strike on the inside edge to set the count at 0-1. Mazaron, a whole lot of speed in her pitches today. She'll look down at the ground, put her hand in the glove, and offer the 0-1 for strike number 2. Well, a lot of that speed might come from her background, where her mom was an Appaloosa world and national champion in barrel racing, and she herself, Mazaron, used to barrel race as well. Gets in the top of the zone for a strikeout. A swing and a miss from Livingston will be Mazaron's 8th K of the day.
Yeah, after that mound visit, Mazaron able to collect herself. Did start off this inning with that early walk, but a nice bounce back with 1 out here.
So 1 away, top of the 6th. Tied at 1 apiece. Mazaron next takes on Hannah Church, and she'll give it a try. No dice. 0-1 count for Church, the catcher in the contest for NC State. She started at that catcher spot in this contest, and we'll see ball number 1 go by her to even up the count at 1 apiece. 1 out, top of the 6th. The 1 runner on base in Wilson at first for NC State. Pitch sent in a little low. A strong stop by Yeager behind the dish for ball 2. It was a 2-1 lead to Church, who today is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Last time up was the recipient of Mazaron's 4th K of the contest. Mazaron stares down Church, sends in the softball. It's popped up high, going into center. Foster underneath it, makes the grab, forces Wilson to retreat to first. And that will be the 2nd out in the top half of the 6th inning.
Yeah, NC State just with 2 hits on the afternoon, both coming from Townsend. 1 down that left field line, the other a short dribbler in front of home. And it's kind of finally some outfield action. I know it did not result in a hit, but Foster able to corral that one for the 2nd out of the inning.
Brings up Morgan Talley. She's 6th in the order for NC State. In the right-handed batter's box, she'll see the first pitch for ball number 1, sent from Mazaron in the circle. The junior has so far pitched the entire game up to this point for Virginia Tech. She'll offer a 1-0 pitch that gets a swing and a miss from Talley for strike number 1. Every pitch matters at this point, with it all tied up in the top of the 6th inning at Tech Softball Park between NC State and Virginia Tech. Hokies looking for a sweep in the series. NC State trying to take the closing game. Swing and a miss from Talley puts up the 2nd strike on the board. It's a 1-2 count with 2 away. Talley taking a quick moment to readjust her gear and steps back into the batter's box. 1-2 offering from Mazaron right down the middle will bring down the Wolfpack in the top of the 6th. Mazaron up to 9 strikeouts in the contest. We'll step aside, and when we come back, the Hokies bats with a chance in the bottom of the 6th inning on the Virginia Tech Sports Network. Still squared up at 1 apiece in Blacksburg between NC State and Virginia Tech, but Emma Mazzarone in the circle for the Hokies got up to 9 strikeouts. She's 1 shy of her season high, but the softball goes over to Wynn Gore of NC State in the circle for the Wolfpack. It's 1 apiece in the bottom of the 6th. As scheduled, it will be Zoe Yeager, followed by Kylie Aldridge and Nora Abramovich for the Hokies. Abramovich, the lone run in this contest, a solo shot back in the bottom of the 2nd for the Hokies. NC State with 1 run as well. That'll happen back all the way in the top of the 3rd. Wynn Gore, the 2nd pitcher of the day after Riley Wyman's day was done. NC State at the moment. Gore would take over in the 4th inning with the bases loaded, get a couple of outs to get the Wolfpack out of there, and has since been well. Zoe Yeager at the plate will take the first pitch for ball number 1. This contest even at 1 apiece. Gore offers in the 1-0, taken for a strike. It's an even count for Yeager. Hokies have out-hit NC State 4-2 so far in this game. They've out-hit their opponents in all but 2 games so far this season, hoping to get it again. Gore will fire it in upstairs for ball number 2. A 2-1 count. It's fouled away off to the left by Yeager, evens it up at 2 apiece. Of note, Bree Carrico warming up in the bullpen for Virginia Tech. Mazzarone still has gone strong up to this point. Gore steps foot back on the rubber for NC State. At an even count, 2-2 to Yeager. Yeager puts it in play, picked up by Short at shortstop and gets it over to Talley in time for the first out in the bottom of the 6th.
Nice clean reception and delivery there from Short. Just so strong playing the 6th spot on the field. Able to fire that one quick out with ease.
So brings up Kylie Aldridge for Virginia Tech. Be a brief moment of pause. Hokies looking for a sweep in this series. NC State trying to clinch the final contest and at least gain some momentum out of this weekend series. Pitch to Aldridge away for ball number 1. Of note, neither game up to this point has had to play the full 7. It was 5 innings the first day with a 10-0 Virginia Tech win. Yesterday, 11-3 in the direction of the Hokies. This one, an even race. 1-1 pitch. Apologies at 1-0, turns to 2-0 in the direction of Aldridge. Extends her lead in the count up at the plate for Virginia Tech. Gore will stare down Aldridge and unwind the softball. gets in for ball 3. Extended lead for Kylie Aldridge in the count. She's worked 1 walk today. 0 for 1 on the day. Her first at-bat grounder to second. Senior leader on this team. She waits the 3-0, swings the bat, and it pops up high into the stands and over them for foul ball.
Yeah, big decision there. 3-0 count, you're taking a whack at it. Obviously went foul off to the left side, but in a knotted up ball game, trying to spark some offense here.
Any run would take the lead for Virginia Tech. 3-0 is taken low, and Aldridge will walk to first for the 2nd time today. Base runner on for the Hokies in the bottom of the 6th, tie contest, 1 apiece. Brings up Nora Abramovich, the solo shot home run earlier today, put up the first score of the contest. And over that wall in left center field. To at the time give the Hokies a 1-0 advantage. Here she is with it all squared up at 1. Last time up took a walk, so she's 1 for 1 in the game. This is her first time taking on Wynn Gore, the relief pitcher of NC State. She steps into the righty side of the box and awaits Gore, who takes a couple of movements with the softball in her hand, and then will fire it in. Put foul by Abramovich, swung down the third base line. It will be a long strike for her. 0-1 the count to Abramovich with 1 away. (0-1) is dribbled low, and that will even up the counts at 1-1. 1 gone, bottom of the 6th. They runner on first in Kylie Aldridge for Virginia Tech. And Nora Abramovich up at the plate. Puts it up high. It's going back in center. Abramovich will see this one ripped away by Townsend at the wall. Looked similar to her one earlier. Didn't quite have enough power to get over dead center.
Yeah, you hit that dead center. It's 20 feet further than each foul pole, 220 to center field. And you heard the crowd kind of hold their breath there. Seemed like that one was headed out, but just got a little bit too much under that one. A frustrating fly out.
All the way at the warning track. It brings up Gabby Mazel with 2 away, bottom of the 6th. 1 runner on for Virginia Tech. Mazel takes the first pitch for ball 1. Saw her taken out last time in replace of Jordan Bishop as a pinch hitter with the bases loaded. This time has a runner on, and it's going to be a meeting in the circle for NC State with, once again, every single pitch at this time of the game meaning a whole lot in a tie contest, bottom of the 6th inning. 2 gone in this contest. This has been a great game back and forth today, Tim.
It has been a pitcher's duel, to say the least. You have the duo of Wyman and Gore for NC State. It's been just Mazzarone for Virginia Tech, but the Wolfpack only have 2 hits on the afternoon, and the Hokies only 4, but both resulting in just 1 run. And how about Wynn Gore, after pitching the other game, really struggling against his Hokies lineup, faces the exact same lineup, but has pitched through 2 1/3, only allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, and has struck out 2. Has a big opportunity here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning.
And Mazel, guess where she's from? Raleigh, North Carolina, taking on the team from there in NC State. The 1-0 to her goes in for ball number 2. Hokies looking for the sweep in the series. We're on the Sunday match, final game of this 3-game series. And a 2-0 lead will become 2-1 after a strike is sent in from Gore. The pep talk proving to help a little bit. Mazel today, 0 for 1. Will take the 2-1, and it gives her an extended lead in the count, 3-1. With 1 runner on first in Aldridge. That's the go-ahead run, with it all squared up at 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th. 2 away. Swing from Mazel goes foul down the third base line. And the count will be full. How about this? Full count, 2 outs tie ball game yet again. Stakes keep rising.
And Aldridge on first with a full count and 2 outs. You're going even before contact is made. Got such a great jump there. If that was able to stay fair, Aldridge was basically already at second base by the time that ball was made with contact.
Payoff pitch from Gore. Mazel will not go, and she did after consultation. Check swing is indeed going to be a strike, which is a strike out, and that will end the 6th inning on a full count. Gore takes advantage, and it will remain tied going into the 7th. We'll step away, and when we come back, tie ball game, 7th inning on the Virginia Tech Sports Network.
We head into the top of the 7th inning and a pitching change from Pete DeMoore's Hokies. It'll be number 12, Bree Carrico. Carrico pitched all 6 innings yesterday after coming into relief for Sophie Kleiman, who was unable to record an out in that first inning. And Carrico absolutely dealt. Had 6 innings of work, only walked 2 batters, only gave up 1 hit, struck out 6, and no earned runs against her to earn her 7th win of the season. And has put it here with a big spot in a 1-1 game at the top of the 7th inning.
She's the go-to when the stakes are high for Virginia Tech, and she gets the call here in a tie ball game, 7th inning.
Up to bat for NC State is Taryn Massey. The first pitch popped up to the left side. Jordan Lynch able to make the catch in foul territory. 1 pitch, 1 out. Bree Carrico resumes what she was doing yesterday.
That she does. Like you said, an incredible outing, and here gets the back end of the game.
Tegan Thrunk now up for the Wolfpack in that right-hand batter's box. First pitch swung on and missed. An interesting matchup here. You have Carrico for Virginia Tech going against Thrunk, who formerly played for the Hokies, but is now wearing red and representing the NC State Wolfpack, but is down 0-1 in the count with 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That one dribbled. Carrico able to glove it, tries to fire it to first, and gets it there in time. Little hesitation. Carrico collects herself. The catch made by Chatfield on the first base bag. And a quick 3 pitches and 2 outs in this top of the 7th inning.
Great start for Carrico in this outing.
Ellington Whitaker, a senior from Houston, Texas, will be the next batter for NC State. To dance with Carrico. Here's the first pitch. That one high and outside. Falls for ball 1. Whitaker today has had 1 at-bat. Did result in a strikeout, but that came against Mazzarone. Carrico is a new matchup. Wind and fire on 1-0. That one popped up. Carrico settling under it and able to do it herself. About as perfect of an outing as you can have. Bree Carrico. Have yourself a day. Pitched 6 great innings yesterday. Only needed 4 pitches. My apologies, 5 pitches to get 3 outs here. Hokies will flip to the bottom of the 7th inning with a chance to walk this one off in Tech Softball Park on the Virginia Tech Sports Network. 7th inning with Enter Sandman by Metallica blasting over the speakers. It is a tie ball game at 1 apiece. And stepping up to the dish for the Hokies is Rachel Castine, the second baseman that was the hero yesterday in a walk-off home run to win via the mercy rule by a score of 11-3. Can't really script this one much better, Riley.
It's exactly who Virginia Tech would want up at the plate based on how she's been this series.
Let's go Hokie chants rain down. Castine takes a deep breath, files into the right-hand batter's box, and will be faced with a matchup with Wynn Gore. Wynn Gore's pitched 2 2/3 innings out of relief today, has only given up 1 hit. He walked 1 and has 3 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch. That one drilled in front of home plate will fall for ball 1. Once again, to reiterate, Rachel Castine yesterday 3 for 3, also drew a walk and had 2 home runs. Today has been silent, 0 for 2. Looking to flip that here. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Falls just a little bit low. Count pushes and a hitter advantage at 2 balls and no strikes. Castine on the season batting .362, playing second base for Virginia Tech today. Moore collects herself back on the rubber. Winds and fires the 2-0. That one able to find the zone. Count pushes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Appeared that Castine was taken all the way. No outs in the bottom of the 7th inning, tied up 1-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one pokes, gonna fall in and find some grass in center field. Rachel Castine wakes up the Hokies offense, and the Hokies are in business. 1 batter up in the bottom of the 7th, 1 batter reaching first base, and that'll bring up shortstop Annika Rose up next for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, anything at this point is important. We see a swap already to get the most speed out on the bases. Sarah McNally going in as a pinch runner.
McNally now standing on first for Virginia Tech. Entering the right-hand batter's box will be Annika Rose, the shortstop for the Hokies. Grounded out in the 3rd inning. Does have a great glove in the field today. Rose batting .246 on the season. Face score. Here's the wind in the first pitch, a bunt attempt. And it's fouled straight back. Count moves to no balls and 1 strike. With a great jump was Sarah McNally, to your point. Riley came into pinch run there, and you only need 1 run to win it. You wouldn't mind exchanging an out to advance a runner into scoring position, is what Pete DeMoore and the Hokies are thinking right here. With no 1 count, to bat number 55, Annika Rose back in the batter's box. Sees the second pitch. That is bunted to third base and does exactly what she planned to do. Advances the runner to second base. He'll exchange an out for an advancement. And the Hokies now have McNally on second base. Likely could be a single away from walk-off fashion as it flips to the top of the order. Batting .414 on the season, center fielder Addison Foster is up to the dish in the left-hand batter's box for Virginia Tech. Has been silent today, 0 for 3, looking to change her storyline here. Runner on second, here's the first pitch. It falls low and outside, count pushes to 1 ball and no strikes. Addison Foster stepping back into the left-hand batter's box. The junior from Lockport, Illinois. Here's the 0-1. Able to find the zone there. Count knots back up at 1-1 with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Virginia Tech's only run scored came in the 2nd inning. Had 0s on the board since, but are 1 swing away here from walk-off fashion. Here's a delivery to Foster, falling a little bit low. Adjustment on the rubber. Or will deliver. The 2-1 pitch. That is swung on, drove to the right side, advancing to third. Will be the Hokies. They don't mind the out, advances the runner into even more of scoring position. It's Sarah McNally, and all you need is a single to bring the fans home happy. Who else but Jordan Lynch leading the Hokies with a .467 batting average, the only Hokie with multiple hits today. That is who has a date with Wynn Gore in the circle. The first pitch to Lynch. falls outside, count pushes to 1 ball and no strikes. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1-1 ball game, runner on third for Virginia Tech. Jordan Lynch 2 for 3 on the afternoon. Left-handed third baseman with the 1-0 pitch. Slows up there, but falls outside for ball number 2. Stepping back into the batter's box is Lynch. As she sees the 2-0 delivery. That one swung on, fouled off to the left side. Lynch went reaching just a little bit. Count will move to 2 balls and 1 strike.
It is Jordan Lynch at the plate, like you said. Probably exactly who Virginia Tech likes this season because any hit could be it.
Here's a 2-1 to Lynch. One falls short of home plate once more. The sophomore able to take it to move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. The Maryland native, Jordan Lynch, with a 3-ball and 1 strike count, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runner on third for Virginia Tech. Here's a 3-1 delivery. That one falls outside. It's a walk for Jordan Lynch and the Hokies. Runners now sit on the corners, but the most important one stands on third. Walking into the batter's box, standing on the right side, will be Michelle Chatfield, the first baseman today for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Hitless today in 2 at-bats, but was able to draw a walk. Had that walk in the 1st inning and has grounded out once in the 4th and once in the 5th. Here's the 0-0 to Chatfield. Falls a little bit outside, count moves to 1 ball and no strikes. Michelle Chatfield batting third for Virginia Tech, sees the 1-0. Falling low once more, pushes yet another ball in the count. It's a 2-0 count to Chatfield. Hokies with runners on the corners, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. That'll result in a mound visit, trying to collect Wynn Gore, the right-hander for NC State, has pitched 3 1/3 innings this afternoon, only giving up 2 hits and just 2 walks, striking out 3, but in danger of giving up the walk-off run that stands on third.
Exactly right. She's had a pretty good outing so far in relief today, but it comes down to this at the very end. Who can prevail with 2 outs as well? I mean, this has been a heck of a contest, and after a couple of games that weren't nail biters the last few days, this one has proved to be an even match between both sides. And got to credit the pitching staffs on each end, and here might be the team with the best bats.
A very exciting situation to possibly take a sweep in the series here if they are able to even just smoke a single anywhere in the field. Let's go, Hokie chants rain down. The count resuming from the mound visit. 2 balls and no strikes. Sarah McNelly stands on third. Jordan Lynch stands on first. Michelle Chatfield stands in the box for the Hokies. Here's a 2-0 delivery. That one swung on, and it's going to find some outfield grass. It's a walk-off single. Michelle Chatfield and the Virginia Tech Hokies sweep the series against the NC State Wolfpack in walk-off fashion. Yesterday it was Castine, today it was Chatfield. The Hokies improved to 28-4 on the season.
Right when they needed it, Michelle Chatfield is able to put the exclamation mark on this game in front of a great crowd at Tech Softball Park.
You can't script it any better. The Hokies never quit. Fights back here, a knotted up 1-1 game for most of the contest, but it falls in favor of Virginia Tech off the bat of Michelle Chatfield. That was her first hit of the afternoon, finishes the day 1 for 3 with the most important RBI, also did draw a walk. And what an exciting weekend series we had here. The first home series for Virginia Tech this season. We will be back shortly after a quick break on the Virginia Tech Sports Network. I'm Taylor Brettel, joined alongside Riley Klintz. welcome you back to the Virginia Tech Sports Network after the Virginia Tech Hokies take a walk-off victory to sweep the series against the NC State Wolfpack, winning by a final score of 2-1. I'm Taylor Brettel, joined alongside Riley Clausen. Riley, only 6 hits for the Hokies, only 2 runs, but the most important one there coming off the bat of Michelle Chatfield. What a way to wrap up this weekend series.
Yeah, no kidding. This was a great game. You got to give credit to both teams in this contest to keep it even all the way until the final inning. And what I think makes this Virginia Tech team so special is the different ways they can win. And I think when you get a lot of teams who might get used to those, they've had run rule victories, right, so far in this series, go win a tough one. And they didn't give up. They've, yesterday, after seeing 3 runs go against them, come back to win it. Today, being down to the 7th at a tie game, able to get it done in that final inning, and then in different ways too, right? With this team's identity, could it have been a solo shot off the bat? Sure, but instead, what did they do? They had a lot of patience at the plate, well-timed and just very consistent outings up there at the dish. They ended up getting multiple runners on. They played smart, right? You talked about the fact that when they got a runner on first, they'd be willing to trade the out to move the runner. Well, that paid off because in the end, all you needed was a single. Michelle Chatfield did exactly that when the moment mattered. So a really great win for this Virginia Tech squad over NC State.
Yeah, just such a solid win. And we talked about this as well. You know, you got the hammer and Hokies, you got the long ball for Pete Damore's squad. We did see one today from Abramovich to get that first run on the board for Virginia Tech. But out of the 6 hits, all the other 5 hits were singles. There's just smacking singles all across the field, up the middle, to right, to left, and it's exactly the recipe that was the recipe for success that it was for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Well, with the win, the Hokies improved to 28-4 on the season, and the Wolfpack dropped to 19-13. A home series for the Hokies ends in a sweep, and the next time the Hokies will be home will be Saturday against Clemson. Not for another 2 weeks on April 2nd.
It's going to be April, Taylor.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy.
The Hokies play a lot away from home, but a very great crowd that showed out all weekend here at Tech Softball Park. Another sellout. You saw people in the lawn chairs have to kind of make their own seat out in left field, and the Hokies gave the fans what they wanted in a weekend series sweep. Can't ask for much more than that. But we really appreciate all of you who tuned in today to listen to some Virginia Tech softball as the Hokies complete a 3-0 series sweep over the Wolfpack. Once more, I'm Taylor Brettel alongside Riley Klaus on the Virginia Tech Sports Network.